Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Friday edition, the Friday Orbit. We got Game 2 of the NBA Finals tonight. It is going to be an absolutely wonderful game. We're going to have to see if the San Antonio Spurs can level it out at home, because let me tell you, if they go to New York down 0-2, it is going to be an absolutely difficult mountain to climb for San Antonio. They had the lead. They played very well. You can see we got both of our free picks in this one. Dylan Harper got 10 field goal attempts, and OG Anunoby was able to make 2 3-pointers in that fourth quarter after he was kind of sitting at one for a while, and he was able to get us that prop as well. 2 for 2 on those free props. You can see from the score right there, San Antonio really had a lot going in that game. They got off to a great start. They defended the ball well. The crowd was on their side. But then it was about midway through the third that it started to shift. And you kind of saw Jalen Brunson was limping. He had to go to the locker room, come back out. You know, there was a lot of adversity for the New York Knicks. And that was the thing we talked about in Wednesday's video. The fact that the New York Knicks had not really played in 9 days. And they did kind of come out flat. It kind of saw like, look, 9 days of not playing is like trying to briefly relearn what it's like to play in a big environment, and it was the finals. But the New York Knicks did an absolutely tremendous job. OG Anunoby had a really good game. 5 for 12 from the field's all right, but 3 for 6 from 3-pointers. I mean, he was very sharp on the threes. He also played some really good defense too. Guys like Devin Vassell, among others, did not play great for San Antonio yesterday. But look at Karl-Anthony Towns with a double-double, 18 points and 12 rebounds. He will be part of our prop for today. 7 for 15 from the field. But Josh Hart played a particularly wonderful game. 15 points, 6 assists, and 4 steals. He was actually the first player in an NBA Finals game since Larry Bird to eclipse those 3 numbers combined. That is an absolutely tremendous game from Josh Hart. I mean, again, he only scored 3 points. He went 1 for 5 from the field. But the fact that he contributed in other ways, again, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals. I mean, that's what you want to see. That's a key part to a winning team, is not just having players that shoot well, but when they don't shoot well or they're not doing anything offensively, being big contributors in other aspects of the game. Great game there from Josh Hart, and a solid effort from Landry Shamet off the bench, but not much depth yet again for New York Knicks, even though Jose Alvarado in the 11 minutes he played, still relatively efficient. Same thing with Mitchell Robinson, 6 rebounds in 13 minutes. But let's get to the San Antonio Spurs, take a quick look at them and how they went in Game 1. Victor Wembanyama, you're going to see we did have a paid pick under 17.5 field goals that he did not do, but one of the things I noticed is that the Spurs do tend to play best when Victor Wembanyama is attempting between 13 to 17 field goals. He just couldn't get it going. He was 6 for 21 from the field. He was missing a lot from 3, 2 for 9 from 3. He was just having a rough game out there. You know, really shooting the ball, and he wasn't really that big of a factor on defense either, even though he did get 12 rebounds, but Karl-Anthony Towns was still getting the ball in the paint and kind of going all over him. And that's something that we don't like to see if you're San Antonio, because they really need Victor Wembanyama to defend Karl-Anthony Towns much better than he did in that Game 1. And they're going to need that throughout the series. Champagnie was solid, 5 for 10 from the 3-pointer. He also had a double-double, 10 rebounds to come with it. So he was also in a double-double. Would have not predicted Julian Champagnie doing that, but he did. Stephon Castle was all right. He was 7 for 16 from the field, 17 points with 8 rebounds to come with that. And a very solid effort from our prop, Dylan Harper, coming off the bench. He went 6 for 10. Not only did he attempt more than 7.5 field goals, but he was very solid in those attempts. He went 6 for 10. He also got 8 rebounds on 16 points. You'll love to see it. But let's go to a couple paid picks. Again, Karl-Anthony Towns was someone I expected to contribute a little bit, because I thought Victor Wembanyama would play a little better defense, but he was really exploding him inside, exploding him on the elbow. Karl-Anthony Towns had a great game, but not with the 4.5 assists or 5 or more. And Wembanyama, like I said, I've noticed him performing at his best, shooting 13 to 17 field goals, and he just missed too many shots when they needed him to make shots, and took too many shots from teammates. At least in my opinion, I think he definitely should have been shooting less. That would have been key for the San Antonio Spurs. But enough of the game one. Let's get to game two. Game two of the series is a big one. It is going to be a slip of two players on the same team, so I'm actually going to go a little different. My paid picks today are going to be a slip of two San Antonio players. Today's free pick, since the Knicks won game one, I am going to go a slip of two Knicks players. Karl Anthony Towns is entering our free picks, projected to go over 10.5 rebounds. Now, this is something that is a relatively high multiplier, but yet again, Karl Anthony Towns has been rebounding well throughout the postseason. I expect him to continue to dominate in the post. And Mikal Bridges, over 14.5 points and assists. He's been part of multiple props throughout the last month here with Rocket Launch Sports Picks, with the playoffs. Mikal Bridges performs very well consistently. We expect 14.5 points and assists, but let's break it down for Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges has done that in 9 out of 10, so he actually did not do it in game one, but he did it in every game in the conference finals and in the conference semifinals against Philadelphia, and then in the conference finals against Cleveland. Both of those were sweeps for the New York Knicks. So the New York Knicks still riding that winning streak. They won the last 3 against Atlanta. They won 4 against Philly, 4 against Cleveland. That is a 12-game winning streak for the New York Knicks here in this postseason. Mikal Bridges has been a big part of that. You can kind of see that before the winning streak began, it was a little bit on and off. Mikal Bridges has been a key part. His offensive production, taking high percentage shots, being able to distribute when he has to, and get his teammates high percentage looks, has been a key part of the Knicks' success. Knowing that you got a guy like Jalen Brunson who, heck, shoots the ball crazy. I mean, I didn't say it in the recap, but he shot 31 field goals. I mean, just crazy. 31 shots for Jalen Brunson. But, you know, guys like Mikal Bridges are guys who will take the pressure off Jalen and other players like Karl Anthony Towns when they need him to. You can see against San Antonio the previous 5 games, including the NBA Cup final, and even the previous season, he's been able to do it against San Antonio, just not in the game one. Game one was kind of the anomaly compared to the recent trend and even the previous trends. Mikal Bridges has done this in 73% of games this season. He has been able to hit 14.5 points and assists. And he's also, just like OG Anunoby, same analysis here. This is Mikal Bridges' numbers. He plays better on the road. He is a better scorer, more rebounds, pretty much the same amount of assists. But Mikal Bridges is a better player on the road, and we expect him to have a big game too. Let's go on to Karl Anthony Towns, who we expect to be grinding very well alongside Mikal Bridges. Both of them were very instrumental in this game one, but with Karl Anthony Towns getting over 10.5 rebounds, that has happened in 6 out of the last 10, including game one where he had 12 rebounds. And you can even see some of these games, 14 rebounds, 13 rebounds. But you can also see other games where he was kind of taken out. 4 rebounds, 6 rebounds, a couple of those games that was the Philadelphia series when he was facing off Joel Embiid. You know, Joel Embiid's a pretty solid guy, solid defender, a guy with much more experience than a Victor Wembanyama. But yet again, Karl Anthony Towns just has kept doing it. 11 out of 20 games. He's also done that in 3 out of 8 against San Antonio, including game one. And that first green bar to the left right there, that is the NBA Cup final against the Spurs. He was able to get 11 points. He has done that in 68% of his games this season. He's looking very strong throughout the season. He's been a very consistent performer. And even in the postseason, we get you his 10.7 rebounds per game throughout the playoffs. Again, against guys like Joel Embiid, who was, I mean, you look at Atlanta, you look at Cleveland, they didn't really have super big guys on there, but you can also see plenty of work for Karl Anthony Towns and getting rebounds no matter who he is going against in the paint. That being said, we got 2 more paid picks. We will have a slip of San Antonio Spurs in our paid picks on Winnable. That link is in the description. That is a wrap for today. Once again, we got every finals game coming up right here, right now. It is going to be a very exciting run here. I am tremendously excited.